Welcome back, nerds, to Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode 125. I'm Fox2. We got Pirate,
Confirmed.
Topher,
Confirmed.
and the whole effing Brian.
Confirmed.
All right. Good to have the whole crew back this week. This is This is like the second week in a row that we've had the whole crew here. Nobody overslept, and
That's confirmed.
I'm kind of surprised because Pirate and Topher both woke up like 3 minutes before we were supposed to start podcasting this week.
I
I
wouldn't
do
have woken
that
up if
every
you
week.
Touche. Hang on, I'm gonna put my phone on vibrate here. Okay. So
I was standing outside a comic book store last night till 4 a.m. talking about random
Jesus.
comics and shit. So,
that's got to earn you some nerd points.
all right.
He already did his podcast. Just
Unfortunately,
alone,
it
without the
didn't
camera.
earn any sleep points.
Are you cheating on us with another comic book podcast? Is that what's going on here?
Maybe.
Are you podcasting in a parking lot for fucking...
You got a side piece podcast? Is that what's happening? You got a side piece podcast?
Are you becoming a podcast lot lizard in comic book stores or something?
He's just slinging podcasting information for free
Little
now?
podcasting whore in a parking lot?
Is that how it is? Just throwing your podcasting out at anybody that'll catch it?
They sit
I
in
don't-
front of comic book stores with their lights on. You come up, knock on the window, like, hey,
Hey,
we're talking
Topher's
about-
such a
remember you-
podcast slut.
I don't remember you guys ever saying we were podcasting exclusively, so I'm free to podcast whatever I want.
Just throws his podcast at people.
If you like it, then you should have put a power ring on it.
Oh.
Ha ha.
5 points to Topher. Well done, sir.
There you go.
Tons of stuff to talk about this week. Absolutely. Oh, Brian apparently loves it that much. He wants to put a green power ring on it. Tons and tons of stuff to talk about this week. So let's just jump right into it.
Pirate, I do.
Okay, so the first thing we'll talk about, Michael Keaton is rumored to be the villain in the upcoming Spider-Man movie, which we just got the title of, Homecoming, which I think is pretty fitting, seeing that Marvel's going to
He's
be
coming.
involved in Spider-Man this time. What are you guys' thoughts about Michael Keaton being the
I'm
the
excited.
villain in this? Why though?
Why?
Why are you
Because I haven't seen really... I mean, last movie Michael Keaton was in was what, Birdman?
Birdman?
And he-
No, I don't know. Can we get fact checked on his last movie?
Yeah, can
I'm
we get
sure
a
there's
fact
been-
check on that, Pirate?
Let me see.
Other ones.
Can you fact check what you're saying?
Michael Keaton's a
in
great
fact-
actor.
I mean,
I know,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah. I mean, who
Oh,
do you,
there's
who do you
some
think
hesitation there.
who do you think he'll play? I guess is my question. Like, as far as the villain goes, I'm trying again. I'm not a huge Spider-Man. Like, I'm
Craven.
not up. I'm not up on my Spider-Man
Oh, well, he's-
knowledge, so I don't know.
Say Craven.
He was in
Craven.
RoboCop. I forgot about that one. That was after Birdman.
That was a piece of shit.
And then he was the voice in Binky Nelson Unpacified. He was in a short film called Prom Queen and a movie called Spotlight.
I think Brian was in that movie, Prom Queen.
Prom Queen?
No, as the Poop Queen.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Speaking of proof, I got something brewing just in case I disappear.
What villain do you think that Spider-Man's going to play? Or I'm sorry, Michael Keaton's going to play in
I
Spider-Man.
think Spider-Man's gonna play Spider-Man.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
confirmed on that.
Confirmed.
I mean,
Spider-Man will be
is there a
playing-
villain when you think of Michael Keaton playing a villain in the Spider-Man movie? Is there a certain villain that comes to mind, or
He
Craven.
could- Yeah, or he could be Octavius.
I could see him as a
I
Craven.
think He's gonna be.
I don't see him as an Octavius.
Yeah, neither do I. He's
That's-
not short and stumpy.
I mean, he's not that tall.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a neat take on Spider-Man for sure. It seems like they're going to try and do it much more justice than the old Spider-Man movies.
I think they're going to do different. I think he's going to be Uncle Ben and come back as a zombie, and he'll be the villain. I think they're gonna make him like a Walker. I think they're gonna do a Game of Thrones mashup.
What do you think the chances are of us seeing the Uncle Ben scene again?
Probably.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna say
so.
97%. We're gonna
Yeah,
see.
I'd say count on it.
It's like a Batman movie without. It's like having a Batman movie without the fucking Bruce Wayne's parents scene. Just
Yeah.
can't do it.
There's an upcoming Spider-Man comic book series that's coming up that they keep teasing called Spider-Man Dead No More. And we were talking last night of like if they bring back Uncle Ben, I fucking quit. I quit.
Yeah, he's like the one person in comics you can't bring back.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anybody else.
Batman's parents.
No, They've been back.
They've
Thomas
been
Wayne.
back. Yeah,
back.
Thomas
Well,
Wayne is definitely back.
I mean, the real. What do you mean?
Yeah,
He's
but,
definitely back.
He's in fucking Earth 2.
I mean, he's Batman
he
in
dies
Earth
in
too.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, there's no, in any, at least that I'm aware of, in any Marvel comic, there's no Uncle Ben, like, out there roaming the streets, playing shuffleboard and fucking going to bingo halls. Like, motherfucker's 6 feet under.
Oh, poor.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much said the same thing about Bucky, though, like
That's
10
true.
years ago.
Yeah.
It's like nobody
Jean
stays
Grey.
dead in comics except for
Uncle Ben and Bucky.
Right.
Uncle Ben and Bucky
Unless you got movies.
and Gwen Stacy, and now Gwen Stacy's somewhat back too.
No, back twice.
Yeah, Gwenpool and Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Girl.
So Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has been confirmed, and we haven't even gotten Guardians of the Galaxy 2 yet.
It's that good.
It's that good.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
I don't think so either. I think the second Guardians of the Galaxy does even bigger numbers than the first one did because of how fun the first one was. And a lot of people didn't really understand, like, going into it, they didn't really know what Guardians of the Galaxy was or what they were kind of getting into, and it still did huge numbers. I think because of the success of the first one, the second one's going to do even better.
I think you're right. I think that's a fair assessment.
I mean, because if you think
Yeah.
about it, your buddy Quentin was like super ramped up to go see it just based on the trailers, the first one this is,
Yeah.
and came to you like, I don't even know what the fuck this is. Like, I don't even know what this is, but it looks cool. You
But
know?
I'm in.
Right. So
Sold.
there had to be people kind of along that same line of thought that like saw it, thought it looked neat, but didn't go to see it. Like saw the trailer, thought it looked neat, but then didn't go see the movie because they really weren't sure about like, is this going to be like more of a sci-fi like Star Trek nerdy movie, or is it going to be a comic book? You know, where is it really going to fall? And I think that it got so many good reviews because of how fun it was that this one's just going to absolutely crush.
Yeah. I think it'll be pretty good. I think it's gonna do as good, if not better, at least. I mean, I don't think it's gonna do worse.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed to be somewhat good.
Unless 2 isn't. If 2 isn't good, do you think that they'll still do 3?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Plus,
Yes.
I heard that there's a rumor that we are going to see a Guardians of the Galaxy connection, I think, in Civil War at some point.
The Russo, not in Civil War, the Russo brothers confirmed that Star-Lord. They confirmed 2 characters in Infinity War already, and that's Star-Lord and Thor.
Okay.
So Infinity War will be connected. Well, everything's connected already because of the damn Stones,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
and not the Rolling Stones. No Mick Jagger.
Well, yeah. Plus,
Uh,
Thanos been in, post credits for quite a few of them.
yeah, that's
Imagine
true.
if Mick Jagger was Nick Fury.
It'd be awful.
Moves like
terrible.
Fury.
Did you say Moose Knuckle Nick?
No, he said moves like Nick
I
Fury.
was like Moose Knuckle. What
Why?
the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, he's mine. It's hard to tell. He's got that long leather, like, fucking duster on all the time. He might have a moose knuckle packing under there. I
Hiding
don't
a
know.
panther tail in his pants.
How is it that you hear the things you hear?
I don't know. I don't. Sometimes I honestly don't know. I don't know. But it adds to the comedic value. You got to give me
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's confirmed.
So the one story, or one of the stories that I'm really excited to talk about this week is that they finally released the Doctor Strange teaser trailer with Benjamin Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange.
Who?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict, God damn it! I'm tongue tied. I drank a big ass fucking coffee today from Starbucks, and I'm just fucking all over the place now.
Was it a venti
It was a
or grande?
It was a venti.
So he only got the 20 ounce. Huh?
Venti means 20, asshole.
Yeah, they have a bigger one than that now. Did you know that?
Fucking role models.
They have a Trenti or something like that. I think it's 30 ounces
Yeah,
of
they've
fucking
had that.
coffee. What the fuck?
That's when you just having one of those days.
Yeah, it's a serious fucking day.
That's
Oh,
when it's like, do I kill myself or do I get a cup of coffee?
You drink that shit at 5:30 in the morning. You can't sleep until tomorrow at 9 a.m.
I could do it. I could take that out, no problem.
Man.
I mean, I get 24 ounces from fucking.
Yeah, I got the 20
Yeah.
ounce. I got the 20 ounce and had them put an extra shot of espresso in it. Might be the last time I do that. Whew, serious commitment.
Someone's crashing hard today.
Yeah, no shit. I'll be sleeping by 5 p.m.
Isn't that your normal bedtime?
Yeah, it's about,
gonna say,
about
how's it
half,
different from
about
any
half
other
hour before my normal bedtime. So the Doctor Strange teaser trailer. What did you guys think about this?
I thought it looked interesting.
That's your only thing? It looked good. Looked interesting.
So last
Right.
week we talked a little bit about Doctor Strange, and I'm pretty sure not a rant, but I sat here and was like, yeah, I mean, Doctor Strange's origin isn't really that important to the character, you know, like who he was before he became the Sorcerer Supreme doesn't really matter all that much, so I don't think they'll spend a whole lot of time on it. Like, they're just gonna jump straight in. I watched the trailer, the first thing I was like, fuck, well, I was dead wrong.
Basically,
Like,
looks like an origin
yeah.
movie.
Looks like a giant origin story.
He kind of needs it because you gotta think you're taking a character that probably 90% of comic book enthusiasts really don't know his origin story. On top of that, they're introducing. Imagine all the people that don't read comics that are like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And then they're introducing a villain world or another part of the Marvel universe. You know, not the space and not the Avenger villains and all that shit that we've never seen yet. So you kind of need an origin story for this one.
And by the way, magic exists.
Yeah.
They probably have to ease into that one a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
that's
magic.
Well,
Well,
No,
they
it's-
have Scarlet
they
Witch.
have- yeah, they have magic, but they don't have like the magic. It's like
A whole other
it would
realm.
be- yeah, it's like the equivalent of saying like we're gonna make a Justice League film, and then all of a sudden start showing up like, Justice League dark villains or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's that type thing. I don't know. It just feels like I just think that they need this guy to tie in that side of the Marvel cinematic universe.
So you were wrong, obviously, about the origin stuff, Topher. But what did you think about the stuff that was in the trailer? How did you feel about it?
I mean, it looked pretty cool. The cinematography looked pretty great. Like, like the epic wide shots and all that stuff. Like it kind of felt to me like, a character suddenly, like the way the visuals were set up. Like you've got subject matter, like you're kind of discovering that, oh my god, your mind's being opened up to this whole other reality, this whole other thing. And I was trying very hard not to say that. and so like I just thought the cinematography worked really well because you've got these huge wide angle shots of these vast landscapes and stuff, and it's kind of like all of a sudden your mind being open to a whole new world. So I thought that aspect was really cool. I thought Cumberbatch looked pretty good as the Doctor.
Doctor?
The only thing that I was a little put off by a little was the one scene that looked a little bit like Inception with all the the cityscape like folding on top of each other and everything. I was like, I think we saw that in Inception, but
Brian,
other than that, it looked pretty cool.
What was your thoughts on it?
I enjoyed it. I want to see more of him as the Doctor instead of like the whole the whole the whole like teaser was just basically seemed like the beginning of the movie, like the origin and him learning and him breaking his hand. I want to see more of him
Prefer
as
a
the
Batman v
Doctor.
Superman type trailer where they show the whole fucking movie.
No, I said I want to see more of him as the Doctor in it. I'm sure this was just it was like
you can see more of him as a doctor.
It can't be
Not the
bad,
Doctor,
Topher, because
but
this
the
is Marvel.
Doctor.
Remember, this is
no,
Marvel.
it probably won't be bad. You won't see sad Batman looking at his parents' grave
dude.
for the 50th time. You won't see
Did
like
anybody feel like it was like it was
confused
made like the
Superman
Matrix?
doesn't know whether he should break that guy's neck or give him a hug.
It's funny,
And,
Fox, because before when you were like, "Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like it's gonna be good," blah blah blah. Like, I almost called you a Marvel fanboy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, okay. Fair enough. On some of the movies, yeah, for sure. I first of all, I loved the trailer. I thought the trailer was awesome. I was a little surprised that it was as much origin stuff as it was, and I was a little. I feel like I hit the nail on the head as far as like the special effects thing. I think that I was right in saying that the people that are doing the special effects are just going to go fucking balls deep on this movie, and it's just going to be tons of cool, visually stunning shots and things. But that being said, the stuff that we saw was not exactly what I had thought it was going to look like. It was really cool. It was neat. Like you said, the world folding in on itself, kind of like Inception, that was a little... It felt rip-off-ish a little bit because it was so similar to the way that Inception felt. But then there was other scenes where they just kind of like spiraled reality multiple times, and like you saw it kind of melting away in the middle of the screen. That was pretty sweet. I'm interested to see what they do effects wise when he starts using magic and starts doing spells and things like that, how they visualize and capture that. I'm kind of hoping they go more of the comic book route and have like bright colors and that kind of stuff involved in it. You know how whenever you see him in the comics,
have the text up on the screen that tells you what page out of the book of Vishanti that the spell came from.
I mean, yeah, that would be kind of neat too. Something similar to that. I don't see them doing that, but like, I don't know. It just, how like every time he's casting a spell, you kind of see like some kind of symbol or whatever will appear like in his hand, and it's like a bright glowing color. So I hope they incorporate some of that and not just these visual effects where it's like reality kind of changing in that area of, as far as like folding in on self or blurring or things like that. But overall, I thought Cumberbatch looked awesome in the clip, and I'm excited. This is probably one of the ones that I'm most excited about. I think I'm actually probably more excited about this movie than I am for Civil War, which
really
probably puts me in the minority. But yeah, I just I don't know. I loved. We're gonna get ready to talk about Civil War here in just a minute, but I loved the comic books of Civil War so much and the story. And I know it's not necessarily supposed to be the exact same thing, but for me, like Age of Ultron was another comic book series that I really like, storyline that I really, really loved, one of my favorites. And I know that the movie wasn't necessarily supposed to follow that story arc, but to me, just being named after it and not really doing it justice, it just kind of detracted from the movie some to me. They just snatched up the main character out of a really, really awesome story arc and put him into a new story, and it just didn't really fit that great.
I'd rather have I'd rather have like them borrow the name and do their own story than like try to do the story and have it be different and fuck it up.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to see him fuck it up, but I just think that, like, the Civil War story, like, while it would be difficult to do if they did it right, like, if they took the comic book and just did that exact story in cinematically, it would be amazing. It would be the best. There's so many different facets of it. You get to see so many different battles. You get to see there's just a lot there. And it could be obviously way more than one movie. You could easily do 2 or 3 movies out of that, probably a trilogy. So I don't know. It just feels like they're really minimizing the gravity that story had in the comic books and making it a real minor thing because it only affects a few superheroes versus an entire universe of heroes. So I don't know.
Yeah, that was one thing the books had going for them. I mean, like the fact that this touched like everybody. I mean, it was huge. Like it was easy to call it Civil War when you had like entire practically armies on either side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not much of a civil war.
This is more of a civil battle.
Yeah, if it's
a civil
not,
skirmish.
Right, it's just like a fucking lunchroom fight, really, because there's only like 4 people on each side. It's not like
the scale is definitely different.
That's
here.
what I'm getting at. Yeah. So to me, that, and again, it may be it's probably going to be a very good movie in all reality. But to me, it will detract from the movie some, just the fact that it's not really paying much homage to its namesake. So I don't know. That being said, let's jump over and talk about Civil War since we're already kind of there. They released a couple of new clips of movie footage. There was one with Bucky kind of fighting different members of the team, and then there's one where they're all kind of sitting around and debating the piece of legislation and why they should allow themselves to be commanded by the United Nations rather than like governing themselves. Did you guys take a look at these, or?
I did not actually get around to watching those. Those just came out like
I think I seen
or something.
one of them. No, I don't know. I know there was. I didn't get to see that. No, they didn't stick out, so I don't know if I seen them or not.
I heard they were pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Did you watch them?
I did. Brian, did you get to see him?
No.
So I'm the only one.
It's only, what is it, 20 days till the movie comes out?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
It's
that.
about time where I stop watching stuff.
My concern is, why are they releasing? It feels almost like Batman v Superman, where they're just kind of still steadily releasing more and more. I mean, because we've already had several trailers.
I mean, do they really need to get the hype up more at this point?
I don't know, and that's kind of what I'm thinking is like,
Every
really.
movie does it about now. They start releasing more things online about now.
Well, the one with Bucky fighting the one with Bucky fighting the whole team, or not the whole team, but some of the team. It's like a full fight scene. It's not like just like a little clip. It's like, I mean, he goes through and fights Black Widow. He fights against Iron Man. He goes through and fights against Black Panther. You know, it's.
You know,
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to watch that at this point.
Yeah.
The one that I seen was the Falcon fighting, and then it had like Panther on Captain America's shield pulling it down.
I did not see that one.
Seen.
So there's about 4 of them out then that they've released, and it's like, man, that's, you know, even if they're only 2 minutes each, that's, you know, 8 minutes ish, 10 minutes ish that they've released of the movie on top of the trailers, because this is all, a lot of this is different footage than what was released in the trailers, and you know, you're looking at a significant amount of material about the movie. I don't know, it's just.
Yeah, I'm probably going to stay clear of those.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had at this point.
The only thing I seen was this scene where Ant-Man meets Captain America.
I didn't see that one either.
That one, he
Wow.
yeah, the comedy point in the movie.
Holy shit! See, they're just. It seems to me like they're releasing way too much shit. I mean, the movie's getting good reviews, but I don't know. It's just.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
No. My computer's making noises in my face.
Then the other thing that I had about Civil War was that we got our first look at Baron Zemo. Did you guys get a chance to see this? It was a Entertainment Weekly article.
I did not see
the one where he's just wearing like a suit and glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's how he's gonna look the whole movie.
I
He'll
hope
probably
not.
have some kind of sock puppet mask like how he wears in the comic books.
In the comic books, can he take the mask off or no?
Yeah.
I thought for some reason I was thinking that he could not take the mask off. I don't remember why I was thinking that. Obviously, I was wrong. In other news, the animated Killing Joke movie has received an R rating.
That's because it shows Commissioner Gordon's penis.
Yeah.
You are the only fucking person that I have ever talked to, out of every comic book fan that I've ever spoken to, that like the first thing that you talk about every time we talk about Killing Joke is the fact that you saw Commissioner Jordan's hog on one of the.
He's hung like a field mouse, dude.
And this motherfucker like knows which page and panel it is. It's like, oh, right there it is, there it is. It's got it like flagged with a fucking Post-it note and shit. Like, what the fuck?
I just remember the first time
you guys make fun of me for making a joke about somebody whipping their dick out at a Deadpool competition or something, and this motherfucker's got it like noted where exactly he can find Commissioner.
Because there was
Gordon's
an actual dick whipped out in this book. There's no dick whipped out in this Deadpool.
Yeah, but nobody noticed it.
This is factual noticing. No,
nobody noticed it. Topher, how many times have you read that book?
So one of the things, like, me and a couple buddies were talking about at like 4 a.m. this morning. We mentioned the Killing Joke, and they both were like, "Yeah, so like apparently you actually see Jim Gordon's penis in this movie," and like, you know, it was a topic of conversation. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Pirate's not alone on this one. Like that is a valid point to bring up in this discussion, that you watch this movie, you will see Jim Gordon's penis. I mean, that's relevant when you're talking about how the movie's rated. I got to side with him on this one.
Do you think he calls it Little Jimmy?
You think he wears a hat? You think
his little Jimmy Jam.
Okay.
Man, I'm excited to see this movie. Actually, I think it's going to be fucking awesome.
I guess that they were they knew that this. I mean, the source material is not very large. Not talking about Jim Gordon's penis.
Which I think he calls it the commish.
There you go. We have our winner. But like, you know, the book is fairly short. You know, even in graphic novel terms. So I guess they've added some material to the beginning to kind of flesh the length out. Length.
Dick jokes just keep coming.
But yeah, I guess they've added some stuff to the beginning with like a little bit of history about Barbara Gordon. They're going to show like a little bit more Batgirl Barbara Gordon stuff at the beginning, just so that, you know, when the Joker shows up at her door, you know,
spoiler alert.
It's a little more meaningful. The Joker shows up at the door. That's not a big plot point. You know, like there's some meaning behind what happens. You know, like it lends some weight to it because, you know, you didn't just see her for the first time 5 minutes ago. So I guess they did say that they felt they had to, you know, kind of pad it out a little bit. You know, but that they're trying to do it in a good way that makes sense. So I'm okay with that. The cat's like tearing out my living room apparently.
What do you think about this?
I'm excited. DC animated movies are usually good.
Yeah, I saw one clip from it with like Mark Hamill laughing as
Was
the
he-
Joker, and like that never gets old.
Was Jim Gordon's penis?
No.
Was that the only clip you saw? Clip.
Mm.
Rock lobster.
What?
Worst joke
Clip?
ever.
Did you just
then
make
he
like
just-
a circumcision joke?
And then he just ripped ass afterwards.
I didn't rip ass out. The
Somebody-
word says John laughing.
Oh, that was.
Might have been my elbow sliding on the
Oh,
table.
okay.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that it?
All right. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I swear it sounded like he was like laughing and just dropped ass over there.
That'd be something I'd do though.
Yeah, that's not a lie. Let's see here. J.J. Abrams said that Rey's parents are not in Force Awakens. How about that for a fucking...
Well, that takes like 3 hours out of our entire
Right.
probably longer than that, like 4 hours out of all
That's
our
like-
podcast discussion.
That's like 4 whole episodes worth of us bickering back and forth about who's her parents. And now
Isn't there a
we're all
bet
wrong.
even on this?
Maybe there's a
We all
long lost
lost.
third Skywalker child. Luke and Leia have a sibling.
Dude, I seen the funniest thing the other day, and it was like Anakin loses a hand. Luke loses a hand. Leia loses a Han. She's still missing the D. And yes, she misses the D or something like that.
Oh, wow. People have entirely too much time on their hands.
Damn.
That's fucking
Dude, I seen
great.
that and I was like, holy shit.
Wow. So I don't know if you guys heard about this, but earlier this week or last week, AMC put out I don't know if it was a press statement or just like they put it on a website or on their social media, that they were seriously considering having some theaters in some locations allow texting during movies.
So, to update your update,
I've got
everybody
the
saw
rest
that
of
and thought
that.
it was
Yeah.
okay. Everybody, yeah. So
That's-
continue.
So the feedback from this on social media, just publicly, was so negative. It was such an overwhelming negative response to this that they have now done a complete 180 and came out and said that at now and at no time in the future will AMC ever allow texting, and they will actually implement a strict no texting policy for all of their theaters. So
It was brutal. Like, I read that and it was like the dumbest fucking thing ever. Like the interview with the dude, it's like the CEO of AMC, and he's going on about how he's like, for millennials today, like asking them to not be on their phone for an hour and a half is like asking them to cut off their arm. I'm like, I think that's being a little dramatic. I mean, even for
a
teenagers.
little dramatic.
No, I think that's legitimately correct. People fucking.
I mean, it's pretty true, but who cares? Fuck them. Turn it off in the goddamn theater.
How ridiculous is this idea of? I mean, obviously, it's not happening now, and I wish this would have happened over a longer span of time, so that we could have first debated like whether or not they should actually allow texting. But I just don't see how anybody in their right fucking mind would think that it's a good idea to allow texting. Even
I could just see it now. There, you could watch live tweet feeds of fucking movies if they did allow that.
think about that. This is going to ruin on every aspect. This would ruin everything, because now you've got people allowed to use their cell phones. So people are going to be taking pictures. They're going to be filming the movie in the theater. There's going to be no way to stop that. They're going to be, like you said, live tweeting the plot lines. There's people that are going to be putting shit up on Facebook about it. You're going to constantly be hearing phones go off, whether it's just the vibrate function or the actual ringer. Who the fuck wants to pay $10 or $12 to go see a movie and have 7 dozen flashlights essentially on in front of them? Like, it's just a terrible idea.
All right, I'm changing the subject because I just saw an article pop up. So, Now going back to what we
breaking
just said.
news?
Yes, breaking news, John.
Break I need
So
like
now, going back to the raised parents thing, an article just popped up that now J.J. Abrams corrected himself and said, "What I meant, quotations, what I meant was that she doesn't discover them in episode 7." Abrams told the EW, not quotation, not that they might not already be in her world.
Aha. Aha.
Well, what the?
So now he just corrected himself.
Then what the fuck kind of announcement is that? That her parents
way to
are
go,
like,
AMC.
everybody. We saw the fucking movie. We know she didn't find out who. Like we. Ugh.
Yeah, so
I think her parents Maz Katan. I think
The
Maz
first
Katan is
quote
short
would-
for Mama Can.
Mama can't pop out a giant white baby when she's yellow.
Mama Walker. It's a
So
play
the
of words.
The first quote was, hold on.
This is ridiculous.
He stated at the Tribeca Film Festival panel when
Today, Junior.
somebody asked him.
Damn, what a
I'm
dick.
reading it.
Wow.
So somebody in the audience asked him that, and he just blurted that out. Now to, what was it, Entertainment Weekly or something like that? He changed his quote. What I meant was,
See,
dick. What a
yeah.
troll.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my guns. I think it was Han and Leia. I still think it was Han and Leia. I think he's just doing this shit just to drum up more interest. Like they need to drum up interest. Fuck's sake. That movie, the Star Wars, since its inception, it fucking has been just a goddamn money-generating machine. There's nothing Star Wars that doesn't make a ton of money. Even the shit movies like Episode 1.
I wonder how much money the remakes are going to make that they bring out into theaters again.
A ton. Are you going to go see it?
I don't know.
I very well
I'm in.
might. I very well might.
A remake?
No,
I
no,
mean,
they're
you what?
re-releasing the original 4, 5, and 6 into theaters.
Oh, yeah. I'll go see it in the theater.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I just wonder
Doing
what
a
they're
shit.
going
Do you
to
think
do.
they're
Yeah.
gonna do you think they're gonna do it in 3D? I would go and see
The
it in 3D.
special edition.
I wonder if Han shoots first in this one.
Oh.
I wonder if they're going to go
Spoiler
that
alert.
route.
No.
Well, Kylo Ren came out, so he definitely shot in something first.
Oh, rock
Wow.
lobster.
Cricket.
You're digging.
Yeah, He's
I like where you're
trying,
heading with that. Like, it was kind of a
trying real hard. He's trying to get some laughs. Keep it up. One of these days you'll be funny. You're almost there. So we knew that James Cameron's Avatar was going to be expanding to do 3 more sequels. That's been confirmed for a long time now.
Has it been confirmed?
Yes, that's what I just said. So
What is confirming? You're confirming.
the news of this is that they're actually expanding it further to 4 sequels because he felt like 3 movies was too limiting to tell the story that he wants to tell.
3 hours of film.
What fucking story are you telling that you can't get it done in 6 to 7.5 hours of film? What I mean,
Yeah.
How is that limiting in any way? They told the fucking Lord of the Rings trilogy in that amount of time. You're telling me that what you're doing is
Yeah.
more expansive than the
And
Lord
then
of the
they made
Rings.
The Hobbit.
Yeah.
That's true.
That was
Very
right.
valid point.
If they had done Lord of the Rings with the same, the same film to pages ratio that they did The Hobbit with,
It'd
it
been
would be like 12
17
fucking movies.
Yeah.
But the Hobbit trilogy was really good, though. They did a good job on that.
You
Is
really,
that sarcasm?
You really think that?
No. I thought the Hobbit trilogy was good.
Did you read
I
the
like
book?
But I was like fucking 12 or something.
Maybe read it again.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah, because
It-
it'll
pictures
ruin
in
the
it.
movies.
It had some issues.
I
I
That's an
love Lord of the
understatement.
Rings. I loved the Hobbit book.
The whole
Movies
the
were
whole
okay.
middle movie could have been thrown away
Yeah. But
entirely. There
was
was
decent.
like pretty much nothing happened in the middle movie. And
I mean, but then you would have lost the whole romantic subplot between the elf and the dwarf.
I rest my case. So, like, it just, I don't know. They did such a good job with the first three that I don't understand why they. The Hobbit, the book, was not that expansive of a story, really. Like, I understand not wanting to do it in one movie, but you definitely didn't need a trilogy to do it. You could have easily done it in 2 hour-and-a-half long movies without a problem. They just, I mean, I think they were trying to do a money grab for real. That's the way it felt when you watch them to me. Like, especially that second one, it was just, there was no substance to the story at all.
Speaking of James Cameron, what's he done? Like,
what hasn't he done?
Titanic.
No, I don't mean. I mean recently, like since
Avatar.
Since Avatar. Since it.
I don't know. Get a fact check.
On yourself? Can you do that?
That's the second fact check he got on him.
Yeah.
No, I asked a question. It's not really a fact.
I don't know. I mean, Avatar obviously was an amazing movie.
Oh, I know what he's been doing all this time. Cashing royalty checks.
Yeah, no shit. Swimming like Scrooge McDuck in a pile of cash.
Let's.
Didn't he do another Terminator movie recently?
Oh, well, did he do that one? That shitty one?
Or was he not involved
Back
in
in
that?
time, forward in time, back in time, forward
I
in
just.
time.
Would you guys
I
be
didn't
interested?
see the most recent
like,
one.
I'm sure we all obviously saw
He
Avatar.
did Terminator Genesis. That's the only thing he's done since Avatar.
Did you guys would you guys even be interested in seeing 4 more Avatar movies?
I wouldn't even be interested in seeing another one.
I don't know that I would. Like, I mean, maybe 1 more, but definitely not 4.
I mean, the one that comes out is going to have to really like.
Yeah, the first one that comes out is going to have to be just a fucking. I mean, it's going to have to absolutely just fucking crush. It's going to have to be super, super good, and it's going to have to leave you at a point like a cliffhanger where you're really wanting to know what happens next, and you can't.
Jesus Christ! I just checked his IMDb page, and you've got
It's ridiculous.
like the top 4 things. Avatar 2 pre-production for 2018, Avatar 3 pre-production for 2020, Avatar 4 pre-production 2022, Avatar 5 pre-production 2023. Holy fucking shit!
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And but they'll all be successful. Look at this guy's fucking resume. I mean, list off, what does it say, like what he's known for on there? Like, list off a handful.
Terminator, the Terminator franchise, Aliens, the second one, Titanic, True Lies.
I mean, everything that this guy touches is
the
gold.
Dark Angel TV show. I mean, that's kind of it's a fairly short list, actually. There's not a ton of stuff on
but
here.
everything on there makes a fuck ton of money.
I mean, I was picking out the highlights. I could read, like, here we go.
Yeah.
Piranha Part 2, The Spawning.
What?
Is that the movie where
Exactly.
the piranhas fly around like from the 80s or 70s?
Expedition Bismarck, the TV movie
All right,
documentary.
Okay, so
The Bismarck.
so he obviously does some passion projects.
Martini Ranch, short video.
Right. In more exciting news, Deadpool 2's been confirmed with the same director and writers and Ryan Reynolds. So they're just straight same crew and everything.
I don't know why they have to confirm that if they straight out said it at the end of the movie.
Because just because they put it into the movie doesn't mean that somebody's going to fucking write a check for it.
Somebody asked me the other day, they're like,
that one.
they're like, I'm sure you know this already, but did you see that, the Deadpool 2 was confirmed? I'm like, it wasn't already?
Well, you got to think about it this way, okay? So when they filmed the movie, and they filmed that scene at the end of the movie and everything.
Yeah, they technically didn't know how well it was going to go over.
Plus, they had no idea really how well. I mean, I'm sure they assumed it was going to do well, but it was the first R-rated comic book movie. It was being released.
It was not.
It wasn't?
It was not the first. No,
it was not the first R-rated comic book movie. It was just the best one.
Okay, first one in a while, we'll say. It's of this generation of comic book movies. It's the first R-rated one. It was released at Easter time, which is typically not a great time of year to release movies that are looking to make a lot of money. Yeah.
This one is Easter in February. It was released on Valentine's Day.
Which one
Batman
was...
Batman.
Yeah, Batman and Superman was... Okay, yeah, sorry. So
Yeah,
but it
technically
wasn't.
that wasn't really
but it wasn't-
released around
it
Easter
wasn't
either.
here
That
when
was
you
a week
give-
before.
You give chocolates to Jesus and ask him if he'll be yours.
Whatever. Zombie Jesus Day.
I know you're dead. Have a heart.
You give chocolates to Zombie Jesus and ask him if he'll be yours forever.
Baby Jesus. I like to think of Jesus as a baby.
So, this movie's gonna absolutely crush. I think this. I don't know what level, like at what tier do you put this movie? How Deadpool 1 did amazing. I think Deadpool 2 will probably do better because people are familiar with it now. I don't see it competing with like Star Wars, but do you think it competes with something like Civil War or Avengers?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big, big bump.
The Avengers movie, I'm not really a fan of. I mean,
No, I'm talking money wise. I'm talking like box office wise.
I like that shimmy you did, Art. I'm not really a fan.
I mean, I don't. It still doesn't. See, I said before that it doesn't quite have the universal appeal that like a Batman and Superman movie would. That like more people are gonna go see that, and that's still the case. But my God, if I wasn't surprised by how high the numbers for Deadpool really were, like I knew they would be good. I knew they'd be solid. I knew it'd be great, but I knew it wasn't going to be as good as Batman v Superman. And it wasn't, but it was a lot closer than I thought it was. So, I mean,
It crushed.
They had like a top 10 all-time opening.
Well, and it was kind of like Wedding Crashers in like playback value. You know what I mean? Like there's so many one-liners, there's so many little jokes and like little things in the background and stuff.
It's
There's
quotable.
Yes.
It's very quotable,
So
which
there's
is
a
a
lot
big
of
thing
value in
today.
like going back and seeing it again so that you can kind of pick up on some more of that. So I think that's the replay value is very high with the Deadpool.
Topher had a Deadpool quote the other day at work
Let's
during
hear it.
lunch.
Let's have it.
So he asked you, we was talking about lunch. And
Did
I
he
said I
tell
brought
you your
Jimmy
face
Chung.
looked like a scrotum?
No.
Oh.
But I had chimichangas, and he's like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go make some chimichangas. He's like, time to make the fucking chimichangas. I was like, well played.
I thought the story was gonna be better.
Yeah, I did too.
No, it's not.
I did too. Like I didn't even remember what it was. I'm like, what did I do?
I mean, it wasn't like a full on
It wasn't a
lobster like.
It wasn't a
Brian's
misle-
jokes.
All I said, he had a quote.
It was,
That's it.
it was like a 3.0 out of
Yeah.
10 on the story.
I mean,
scale.
what,
I think we all expected some epic story where,
like a top
I didn't
half of
say
the
it.
mass of Utah.
yeah, like
Didn't
you
say
guys
which
were
one.
like, you were trying to run at him without any pants on.
okay. So
Oh,
we're
at
at work,
work,
right?
yes, yes,
and
at
I
work.
locked the lockbox to his wrist, and he fucking chops his hand. He starts sawing his hand off, and he says, "Time to look away." And that was it.
Did the blood spurt on you and you go, money
Oh
shot?
yeah, money shot. Yeah, money shot was in there.
Wow. I think you offended Pirate by not liking his story. He looks upset. He looks visibly
Did he-
upset.
Did he try to put a strap on in you on International
Listen, it's
Women's
confirmed.
Day?
I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying,
Is it confirmed?
I don't
it
give
is
a-
confirmed.
I want to see the article on that.
I'll spark it over, or I'll send it over to you.
I can't remember what Brian is still fucking droning on about with this confirmed thing, but he's clearly
We're all-
butthurt about something. It's the only time.
We're all
It's the
doing.
only time
Do
he
you-
fucking drags something out for like 3 weeks at a time is when he gets fucking asshole hurt over some comment that I made.
We all do.
It's confirmed that he is
Introduced
butthole
No,
hurt, I think.
This
John,
wasn't.
is that
this wasn't-
confirmed?
Because this motherfucker can hold on to something forever.
Except for a poop.
It wasn't
That thing comes out like a wrecking ball.
It wasn't a butthurt thing. It was just, it was like the next quotable show moment. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Why does everybody have to? Why are you thinking about butts so much? Everybody has to be butt hurt. Shit. Do we need to talk about it? Do we need to give you an intervention about bringing up butts?
Close on the doll where Brian
Rock
touched
lobster. Yeah, show
No,
us
I'm
all the
serious.
dog.
This is a problem.
This is not a problem. If you can talk about shit for 20 minutes per episode when we're talking about Batman and Superman.
Same thing.
Now that should have been a Bryant comment.
That's
Right?
confirmed.
So there's a story that was written by a guy named J.V. Chamare. He's a writer for Forbes magazine. It's causing a little bit of a stir. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I personally feel like he wrote this just to fucking stir the pot of the millennials and the fucking social justice warriors of the world. In the article, he is claiming that science says that Superman should be a black person, not a white person. Because black skin would absorb the sunlight that gives him power better.
I mean, technically, I guess.
Why even fucking write this article? Like other than to just simply fire up the social justice warriors and stir the pot, what good does this do? There's no way they're gonna fucking make Superman black. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be racist, but he's one of the oldest superheroes. It's probably the most recognizable superhero in the world. Why would you change anything about his image?
I'm going to go ahead and say that's not even a social justice warrior thing. That's just dudes being random.
Oh no. People are definitely responding saying, yeah, it's the injustice of the Hollywood society and they would never let a black man play a prominent role like that.
Well, that's the problem that
they're picking up the torches society. And the pitchforks on this one. What? Like, why? I don't like it. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't even make sense. He's such a notable figure. The symbol. It'd be like arguing that they need to change his suit from blue to green. Like, why? Nobody's going to recognize him as the Superman that everybody's recognized since Action Comics 1. Like, he's looked pretty much the same across the board. There's obviously been variations, but he's looked the same pretty much since the beginning. Why would you change that now? Like, I don't understand that. It seems like the only reason to write something like this is to stir up drama and get attention for yourself.
Look, I don't have a problem if they make a black man or woman with Superman powers and abilities.
Make another character.
And this and that. Yeah, but I mean, to say...
Earth too.
I mean, to take it to say...
A separate but equal character?
I mean, I'm just saying, why does it have to be a character that's already been established? Why can't there be... What's wrong with coming up with a Superman story, a Superman movie, where there's another Kryptonian that happens to have darker skin?
They did it already.
So,
yeah.
What is this guy complaining about?
So I'm not necessarily looking to start a giant war argument here, but
let's do it. It's been a while.
I think the point is at least for me anyway. I can't speak for the writer. I don't know what they were trying to do, but it wouldn't necessarily have to be about making attention for yourself. I don't necessarily think you should change Superman, but I don't know that there is zero value in examining the situation and saying that, yes, because of the fact that all these popular things spun out of a time when black characters were not very prominent, it does sort of suck if you are a black actor that the roles available to you in that space are forever going to be somewhat limited because just the pantheon of characters from back then, it's unapproachable to you just because of your race. And it would suck to be in that situation. Not that it necessarily has to change and that you should go on a grand mission to change Superman to make him accessible to that. But in terms of,
but why does that make it unapproachable?
Is
Does
actors
that mean
being
does that mean that if there was a comic book with a black superhero, it's unapproachable to me?
No. I'm saying the role of Superman or Wonder Woman or Batman or any of these like
Well, motherfucker, I
highly
can't try
prom-
out and play Shaft.
Oh,
any
you
of
beat
these.
me to it. That's who I was gonna.
I'm
God
just
damn
saying,
it.
like, I can't play Mr. T. You don't see me firing up the fucking pitchforks and
BA?
torches to play
Not
B.A.
Mr.
Baracus. Like, I can't. This shit, it's not going to happen. Like, come on. I'm not going to be Clubber Lang in any fucking movie. Like, look, there's two sides to this. It's fucking ridiculous that you would, anyone, not you specifically, but anyone would be upset that a role in a movie or a character is unapproachable by a person that's black, because on the opposite side of the same fucking fence, there are roles that are unapproachable for white people because the character is a black character. That's not racist. That's not prejudiced. That's not anything. That's just the fucking story. That's just the character.
It's like saying like somebody's like, mad because their race doesn't allow them to fit the role to play Napoleon or Hamlet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or like,
are you going to make a black Napoleon? Like, that doesn't fucking work.
No, but if the source material was all created at a time where you had oppression for those races, then
well, I'm pissed off that John couldn't try out to play Xerxes in 300.
Wait, so hold on, but that doesn't. That's irrelevant as well too in a way, because if you look at like William Shakespeare, look what was talk about the oppression that was going on in that time frame. I don't think or anything Napoleon. You know what I mean? Like there was slavery. You know what I mean? Like that's like there's oppression there. How can you say that a time frame of oppression? I mean, I get your point, but I just don't think it holds much weight in changing of a character. You can't fault a character wrote in a time that it was wrote.
I'm not faulting them, but you don't have to fault the characters or or whatnot to recognize the fact that in the history of comics, black people have been underrepresented.
I do agree with that.
I don't disagree with that.
I think that in writing new material, look, we have Cyborg now on the big screen. Victor Stone is now going to be in the movies, and that is a black character. Hopefully, Jon Stewart will follow.
But I think
I don't think that there's just not a lot of options, and I don't think, and that is because during the time that there was not a lot wrote. I get that, a lot of iconic characters. So we're going into a pool now from the 70s and 60s and stuff like that had those late 60s that had those characters, and I think we're starting to see that in the big screen, and I think there's plenty of opportunities. It's just we need to open awareness to the actual people who want to make these movies to use those characters.
I think
that's the thing. They have to use them.
I think Topher's right. There has been a pretty big disparity in the quantity and weight that Caucasian superheroes carry versus other ethnicities. I'm not going to just say black superheroes, because there's plenty of other ethnicities out there. That there's Asians, there's Indians, there's all kinds of different colors of the spectrum, if you will. But the point is that people want to beat the drum saying that there's a social injustice here, that this person can't step up and play Superman because he's not of the right skin tone to match the character. But I think that ultimately what they're arguing for is equality. And they're arguing against racism, which everybody obviously on this podcast would agree. Racism is wrong, and there's nothing wrong with equality. But in order to get there, I don't think that complaining about something that was created 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 75 years ago is going to do anyone any good. But if you look at where we're at now, look at the comic books, the characters that are being used now, there's a much higher degree of equality across those characters. There's a lot more ethnicity in those characters. There's a lot more gender equality. There's a lot more female characters. There's across the board, religions. The character, the Green Lantern,
Simon
that's Muslim. There's a whole variety of characters that are being brought to the table now. We're just not to the point where those characters are on cinema yet. So complaining about the characters that are being put on cinema that are more established characters that are older isn't really doing anything productive, because in 10 years from now, 5 years from now, when the characters that are being produced now in comic books gain some popularity and have some backstory and some support from the fan base, those are going to be the characters that we're going to end up seeing on the big screen. So what the fuck are you bitching about?
And the whole
We're
thing
already
too,
headed that
like
way.
with just changing with, I mean, and this is even a slight change. Like me being a fan of Superman, if I see it, here's the thing: if we can change the visual look of Superman, you know, and say, okay, this is going to be your new Superman, then why don't we just get somebody who's 5'9" and 300 pounds to play him? Why does he have to be 6'2" plus and, you know,
super muscular and
ripped with the torso V? That, like, why can't just a short fat guy be him then?
Isn't Earth 2 Superman black?
Yes.
Yeah, there has been black Supermans. I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about
So
the character itself.
They're not complaining that there's no black Superman. They're complaining that it's cinematically.
Yeah.
But again, why would, as a business, if you think of this simply from a business standpoint, if you had one business product that is 99.9% of your sales and one that is 0.1% of your sales, why would you ever invest hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars in the one that's only 0.1% of your business? Why wouldn't you capitalize on the one that's more popular? Why? All other things aside, why wouldn't you?
nobody. Okay, I can't say that nobody's saying that you should, but like I think, you know, the general argument from the other side there isn't that you should do stuff that isn't popular and, you know, is purposely going to screw you over just because it's the right thing to do. It's more to point out, you know, to be aware that doing so can sometimes further the inequality, and that, you know, like, being aware of those things helps push it more towards equality in the future. And that, not that you should do that, but, you know, not that you should go out of your way to shoot yourself
I'm
in the
sure
foot.
they're crying all the way to the bank.
Yeah, not that you should shoot yourself in the foot, but that, you know,
Their
look
tears
at all
and
those
$100
zeros.
but if in the process you can somehow try and, you know, improve the disparity, that you should try, you know.
I don't disagree with you necessarily, but the bottom line of my point is that this is already established. It's already being addressed. At least in comic book culture, this is already something that has been addressed. I mean, if you look at the characters that are out now, the current generation of characters, there's a much greater variety in gender and in sexual orientation.
They've actually made
race.
very good. Yeah, they've made a lot of really good strides in promoting a much more diverse cast of actual quality characters.
And,
Yes.
and some of these are really major characters. Thor is a fucking woman now. I'm just saying, like,
I mean, that's going to be
Captain
temporary.
America's black.
right?
Yeah.
Captain America is black. There's a great variety of things out
But
there, and I'm just saying.
Have you read any of the Ms. Marvel series with Kamala Khan?
I read the first one.
It's really good.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I've heard. Nothing but good reviews about that. Now, some of the changes that they made, I did not agree with personally, because it felt like changes that were made just for the sake of pushing diversity. I'm not a fan of that either. I think that the story should drive the adversity. You need to work it in story-wise, not just force it down someone's throat. But I do think diversity is a good thing. I think it's a good thing to achieve. I just think you need to work it into the story, not just do it just to do it. But, I mean, ultimately, obviously, we're at a point in comic books now where the diversity is happening in the written the literature portion of comic books. The cinematic is at this point decades behind. It's going to take time to get caught up. I mean, maybe not decades, but
Well, I mean, comic book movies are weird. Like you have movies like Superman that took till he was on the actual, the Christopher Reeves at least. Let's say the big, over budget top ones. That was like a 40-year span or 30 years to get that movie out.
yeah.
Versus when the comic book was released. But then you have movies like The Punisher. It only took 3 years from the moment the first Punisher comic book was out
And look how
to
good
when the
those
actual
movies
movie.
did.
Hey, I like the one with Dolph Lundgren. I'm just saying. I
fucking
mean,
with you.
He likes the part in the end when he's sitting on the bathtub naked.
that's not at the end. That's like in the middle when he's like in the sewer. He's like,
Oh,
kneeling
see,
down.
he even knows.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because he knows that fucking Jim Gordon's cock is on page 67 in the bottom right corner. Or whatever.
So,
It's not
But,
67. It's,
I'm just saying, like it doesn't. All it takes is for somebody to see a good story and say, "Okay, we need to make a movie about it." And with the way superhero movies are right now, I mean, it's so
just a
easy
matter
to
of
like
time.
thí them in there. Boom, boom.
Yeah, it's just a matter of
especially
time.
when you have Marvel, especially with how many are they flooding in fucking for Infinity War? Like 60 some.
no, they're not putting that many characters in it. They said they have that many to pick from.
Oh, okay.
Put in the movie.
Did you see? So, do you guys ever watch the? There's another YouTube channel called
How dare you.
Honest Movie Trailers.
Yes.
Yeah, I've
Have
seen
you ever watched those?
I've
They're
seen
fucking
a couple.
hilarious.
I've seen a couple.
The one for Guardians of the Galaxy just came to mind since we were talking about that before and how great a movie it is and whatnot. They were given a rundown of the plot and the characters, and they're like, okay, basically this green alien teams up with this green alien to go battle this blue alien who's the daughter of this purple alien who wants this, so that they can save these whatever color aliens, blah, 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 blah. But if you're confused, just remember the hero of the story is still the white guy.
Wow. Oh, man. Well, we'll have to continue our social justice debate on another episode. I hope everybody enjoyed it. That's it for this episode. I'm Fox2. We got Pirate,
Confirmed.
Topher,
Confirmed.
and the whole effing Brian.
Confirmed.